Okay, so let's start practice 1-1. To start your practice activity, you will know the location of an activity guide and also a student guide. Once you get into your lab environment, and you will see computer and Oracle's Home and Adobe Reader and Firefox, and there are many folders. And you click Oracle's Home folder. Under that, you will see eKit. And under that, you will see the course number _ classroom folder. And you will see sg.pdf file student guide and ag.pdf file, that's the activity guide. For practice activity, you're going to use activity guide. I already opened up activity guide here. And also in the left-hand side, you see the 3 icons. And third one is bookmarks. And if you want to see a list of practice activities, you click in a table of content. In lesson 1, we have a first practice that's configuring standalone flex cluster. And also all passwords available in the course practice environment security credentials. Okay. The DNS node, that's in the first server that you're going to connect to. And root user and Oracle user OS account password, it must be given to you. And our practice servers are host 01 to host 05, and all OS account password is Oracle. But in order to get into initial server, you will have to check the password given to you. And also we do have product specific credentials. So you can go with a DJ username and password. So that's what you can follow. And let's get into practice 1. And this practice title is a grid infrastructure overview. And when you look at overview section, in this practice, you will install and configure a standalone flex cluster. You will install clusterware in all 5 servers. But we will assign different roles. And host 01 to host 03, this will be hub node, where database instances can be running, and you can also perform insert, update, delete. And also host 04 and 5 and DJ leaf node, primarily to support application highly available. But starting with the 12.2, we can also configure leaf node to run read-only instances as well. So that's what we reviewed. And step number 1, you open new terminal. So where is in a terminal? How can I start and open a terminal session? And when you look at this icon, you see the terminal icon here. So we'll double click it. And this is your workstation. And I will move this a little bit here. And you can actually read each instruction. The first thing what we're going to do here is we're going to actually log in as root. And you will have to know root password. It is given to you. And also restart named service to ensure that you will have to restart named service. And also you will have to make sure all system times are synchronized. That way you can actually install Oracle clusterware successfully. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to log in as a root. Okay, so I provided a password given to me. And then what I'm going to do here is you can actually type, you can actually copy this command given, or you can just type it. So based on your preference, you can type it, and you can also copy and paste. what it does is it synchronizes system time across host 01 to host 05. That's what we're going to do. And in the OS level, we have two lines of code. In this case, when you copy and paste in the terminal session window, and this will only copy in the first line. So what you have to do is you copy the first line and then leave space, and then second line. If you want to do copy paste, okay. So this is to synchronize the system time among the cluster servers. And you type yes, and host 01 through host 05 password is Oracle. I will just type Oracle, yes, Oracle, and yes, Oracle, and yes, Oracle, and yes, Oracle. Okay, so I was able to get into. As you can see, if this is the first time to get into, then you will get some a little more messages. So you have to type yes and provide the password. So the output is just slightly different, but essentially the same. And then we're gonna restart DNS service, which called named. Okay, so I restarted. And then we're gonna review the practice environment and make sure you have all required entries. So host 01 to host 05, these are the rack servers or cluster servers, and you connect to the main server or gateway server, which named the DNS server. So this one. So you have to have a total 6 entries here. So I made actually I highlighted this text. So you have to have 6 entries here. And then we're gonna check status of a DHCP. As a part of a configuration later on, we're gonna use a DHCP to assign automatic VIP IP address assignment. So you have to make sure DHCP daemon is running. Okay, so it is running. And then what we're gonna do is, using SSH, connect to host 01 as a root user account and start local naming cache daemon across all 5 nodes. And also, to make sure NSCD start at reboot, you also execute this command as well. Okay? And this is actually to cache the result of name, the resolution information. So that way, if a network to the DNS is temporarily not available, we can directly use cache the information in the local memory. Okay? So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna connect to host 01 and provide a password and service, and I will start this service. And then to start this service at node reboot, I will configure with this, and I will do it for second host, and I will do it for third host, and I will do it for host 04, and I will do it for host 05, and same thing for this. Host 02, host 03, host 04, host 05. Okay, done. So that's what I did as a part of step number 4. And step number 5, as a root user account, and you're gonna run limit.sh script. And this script does many things. It replaces profile for Oracle user account and create a user account. It replaces etc profile. It also replaces limit.configuration file for Oracle for create the user account. So you as an attendee, what you're gonna do, it's a good idea to review contents of a batch profile and also profile that will be replaced, and also limit the configuration file. And then finally, once you reviewed, you simply execute this script and it replaces in the files. So I'm in the host 01 as a root user account. I'm going to run limit.sh script. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to create installation directories for both Grid and Oracle. And then we're going to set ownership and permissions of directories. So you can review this content, and we will install Grid infrastructure in this location, and we will install database software later, and we change it ownership and permission as well across 5 servers. So I'm going to execute script to perform same task across 5 servers. Okay, so I'm done. Now I'm going to actually install Grid infrastructure now. In order to start OUI, you have to enable X window. When you just go through this step, you may want to just type SSH-X directly from host 01. Then this will cause a problem later on. So as you can see, instruction said open a terminal window. So you open new terminal session. So instead of using this, I'm going to open new terminal session. So from DNS server, I will type SSH-X grid at host 01. As a grid user, we're going to get into host 01 and we provide the password. And we have the software downloaded here. And when you look at Sage and clusterware stage directory, and you will see clusterware.zip file. So your binaries are delivered through a zip file. So what we're going to do here is we're going to simply unzip it. So I'm going to copy this. In the OS level, if you have 2 lines of code, copy line by line. And then I have to unzip it. So clusterware.zip file will be the unzipped in this directory. That's your binary. And once everything is unzipped, then we're going to actually move on to step number 8. So it's going to take some time to complete this. So I'm going to pause a little bit, and I will come back to continue. So after waiting a minute, so everything was unzipped. So I can move on to step number 8. So what I'm going to do here is I will move on to software home directory for Grid infrastructure. And then I will start OUI by executing grid setup.sh script. Okay, so that's my OUI. You will have to follow instruction. According to this, we configure Oracle Grid infrastructure for a new cluster and click next. So we'll choose the first option and move on to next step. And also, we will create standalone flex cluster. And as an option in the large IT environment, you may want to create Oracle Domain Services cluster for member clusters as well. But in this practice environment, we're going to focus on standalone cluster. And this is a very important part. And you will have to provide information in the step number 11 to create Oracle cluster correctly. So what I'm going to do, I will provide information, cluster 01. And for scan, I will not modify because as you can see, it is auto-filled. And I added a comment here to not edit it manually. The reason why I added this comment, if you make it manually, sometimes you make some type of mistake. So since it is auto-filled, so you don't have to touch it. And scan port number is 1521. And we will configure GNS. If you remember, in lesson 1, we had 3 possible options of creating cluster. And without GNS, with GNS, but without subdomain delegation. And also with the GNS, with the subdomain delegation. So we have 3 possible options. So we use the option 3. So configure node virtual IP as assigned by dynamic network. So we use DHCP to assign VIP addresses. That's why we double checked DHCP status. And your GNS location is 192.0.2.155. And subdomain is example.com. So I didn't make any changes here. As you can see, it is auto-filled. So cluster01 scan.cluster01.example.com. So I'm going to move on. And also, I'm going to add 5 servers. Since I started OUI from host 01, it was already entered. So I will have to add additional servers, host02.example.com. I will copy and paste. And this must be a hub node. And I will add host 03 as a hub node. And as you can see, we have a server role assignment. And host 04, host 05, I will make it a leaf node. I will change it to leaf. And I will make it leaf. So that's what I did. So I have 5 members in the list. And also, I want to check whether I can connect to all these 5 servers without providing password for remote grid infrastructure installation. So to do so, you click SSH connectivity and you provide the password. To connect to host 01 through host 05, you simply enter Oracle or lowercase and click test. And in our environment, password list, our SSH connectivity setup already completed. So you don't have to click setup, just simply test. And the step number 14, we assign the role of each network interface. If the 0 will be public, it 1 as ASM, and we're going to combine it 2 and 3 to configure redundant interconnect usage. So these are used for private. So public and ASM and private and private. And then what we're going to do, Oracle Cluster Registry OCR files, boarding disk files, and other clusterware data will be configured with the ASM. Starting with the 12.2, you must use ASM to store OCR and boarding disk and other clusterware files. And if you want to use NFS, then you have to create ASM on NFS. And in our case, the first option is ready, so we choose the first option. And also, we're going to create management database. And then we're going to search for ASM disks. So it's got to be data disk group. and allocation unit 4 megabytes by default. And then we're going to change it, path, dep, C1. And you will see many of your devices discovered. Now, when you actually choose ASM disks, choose ASM devices correctly. According to step number 18, on the Create ASM Disk Group page, select first 10, not all. Okay? So, this order, 1 through 5, is the same in the order, in the list, in the OUI. So I will choose 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 10, 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, all the way down to 5. So I chose first 10. And this is very, very important. I highlighted here. Configure Oracle ASM filter driver checkbox is not selected. And during the development, we tested with this option, but it took a long time to configure ASM. So in education environment, we decided disabling this feature. So make sure you unselect this option. Once you choose it, it's very hard to clean up, and it takes a long time to configure and reconfigure. And then we will configure management database. Make sure it is external in our class environment. To save some space, we chose external. So here we have external, and we choose all 14 management disk devices. So you search for management device. So we start from here, disk 1, disk 2, disk 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 9. Let me go up. So I chose all 14. And then move it to next. And then we're going to provide a password. And this is for the same password for administrative account. And password is given in the manual I showed you in the beginning of this practice demo recording. And it is Oracle _4 uppercase U. And also, we're not going to choose IPMI in this practice environment. And don't use Enterprise Manager Cloud Control, because we're going to practice with the Enterprise Manager Database Express. And also, as a part of a discussion, I also explained the OS authentication. We're going to go with the same authentication setup. So I'm going to move on to next step. And also, as a part of step number 24, choose the same location as Oracle base. And your software location is U01 APP 12.2.0 grid. And step number 25, you verify inventory location. It's got to be U01 APP or inventory location. So as you can see, this was popped up, and it's the same as your manual. And next step is, oops, I skipped one more. I will move it back. As a part of step number 26, it says, do you want to execute root script automatically after you confirm? So, this is an automatic root execution setup. So, pretty much, in the middle of a grid infrastructure software installation, you will get a small pop-up window asking you whether you want to run root script through OUI or not. Okay, so you can actually choose this option, or when you unselect this option, you have to run root.sh script one at a time manually. So you have choices. But in this training, in direct training, we don't really need to execute root script manually. So to simplify root script execution, in step number 26, we're going to choose automatically run configuration script, this option. Now, since I skipped one step, I will move it back. So I will choose this option, and root user account password is Oracle, lowercase. And then I'm going to move it to the next step, and this will check prerequisite. And it takes some time, and you will see several warning messages. So to fix fixable issues, you click Fix and Check Again button. And then after you wait a couple of seconds, it will start fix up script through pop-up window. And then we will have to wait for it. Since the prerequisite testing in progress, I will wait a few seconds. So you see actually progress in the bottom. You see under the progress bar, you see checking few things, test DHCP configuration. So after completing this, you run fix up script, and you will see fix up script pop-up window, and we will have to execute this across all 5 servers. It takes some time. So now 79, 82%. It's moving. Okay, so we got a few warning and failures. So I can run fix and check again button, and after wait a few seconds, you will see a pop-up window. It gives you fix up script. So in this case, this is a fix up script. Temp grid setup act 2018, something like that. So when you're looking at your manual, step number 30, and you will open new terminal and you execute this script. And don't use the same script, because this was only for the fix-up script what we captured as a part of this practice activity. So you will have to use your fix-up script. So what we're gonna do here, I will open new window, SSH root at host 01, and provide the host, and temp grid. So it is auto-filled, and then I have a C something grid, and then run fix-up script. So this is mine. So I will execute this here, and I will have to execute this on second host as well, host 02, and also host 03, and host 04, and host 05, and done. So I will come back to this window. I will click OK because I completed. And then it will actually go. I will click OK because I completed. And then it will actually come back to prerequisite step. So you click OK once you executed the script. Then you will see only few the warning and messages. This is to give you some additional information. You can ignore the following warning messages. It's because of our virtual environment, so you can safely ignore it. Okay, so finally, as you can see, we have only warning messages, except for task DNS configuration check. As part of our development testing, it was okay to ignore it in our education environment. So we can simply ignore all, and then we're going to move on to next step, and we confirm this. So spend some time to review what you completed, what you entered, and then you click install button. So based on the testing, we learned that after you wait a certain amount of time, and you will see in a small pop-up window, and it is asking whether you want to the execute root script automatically as you requested. So if you're still okay, you click yes to run root script through OUI automatically. So around 44%, you will receive this pop-up window, and you simply click click yes button to continue. It takes about 65 minutes once you click yes button. So it takes a long time. So manage your time. And I added all timing information, so you follow this instruction. So you can do something else, or you can review lesson note during the installation. So around 44%, you'll see in a pop-up window, click yes, and from this point, it will take around 65 minutes. Okay, since it takes a long time, I will pause at this point, and I will come back to give you additional instruction. Okay, so after waiting about 3 to 5 minutes, so finally I got this pop-up window. So since I'm gonna I'm gonna run root script through OUI automatically, so I can just click yes button. And from this point, it's gonna take around 65 minutes. So if you plan to do some review, then you can actually spend about an hour to review. So you manage your time from this point. So I will pause this recording session for a minute, and I will come back to show you the rest of the steps. Okay, so after waiting for a while, finally installation is done. So that's step number 36. And we can actually close this OUI. And we need a couple more steps to verify. So what I'm gonna do, I have one session here. And where is my create session? This is my create session. I will clear. Or you can actually open new session and you log in as a create user account to host 01. And I will set environment variable with the ASM1. And then we can check a couple of things. So this is standalone cluster, and its mode is flex cluster mode. Okay, so it's a flex. And you can also get configuration information as well. So it's a cluster 01, standalone cluster, and flex type, but this is not extended cluster. Extended cluster is multi-site cluster. So we haven't configured this. And also we can get a server role, and we made 3 servers at the hub node and 2 servers at the leaf node. So it shows you this information. And also flex cluster requires flex ASM, and we had a discussion on this. And this is the flex mode configuration. And you can also check clusterware service status across all members of a cluster. As you can see, from host 01 to host 05, everything is online. And you can also list clusterware resources in the table format with the T option. Okay, so CRSCTL, okay, I shouldn't be here. I'm in the wrong terminal, so I should be here. There's T. So as you can see, everything is up and running. And I'm showing you this as a demonstration, so that's why I'm giving you a step-by-step information and with a brief explanation, because many of these steps are covered. You can actually review by spending more time. So you can actually spend a little more time on each step to learn more. Okay. And we can also stop cluster verify utility service if periodically the periodically check the best practices against your cluster. Okay, and then it will actually consume some space over the time. So to save some space, we stop cluster verify utility, clusterware resource. And this is on purpose in the class environment because we only have a limited of a space. But in your environment, you don't really need to disable it. It runs every few hours to check your configuration, comparing with the best practices coded. Next thing is you will create another ASM disco group, and this will be used as a fast recovery area. I will actually run ASMCA here. Okay, so ASMCA comes up. Okay, so sometimes you may not be able to start ASMCA in this example. So let's say I'm opening up new terminal session, for example, and I'm connecting to host 01 as a create user. And then you set environment variable. And then you run ASMCA, and you will get this problem because you didn't use the -x option. Now we're gonna do exit out. What about this? And we have a -x, enter, and you log in, and then you set environment variable again, and ASMCA. Okay, same problem. So whenever you see display related problem, and it may be because you didn't connect to host correctly. So you will have to use a -X. And sometimes when you copy paste, dash may be a long dash. So you will have to replace long dash with the regular dash. So that way you can actually connect and you can start ASMCA and other GUI tools correctly. So in this case, -X. And create at host 01. So that's what you're supposed to do. I'm just giving you an idea. So I will start ASMCA again here. Once ASMCA started from ASM disco group section, and you will create new ASM disco group in addition to data and management ASM disco group, and you will have to create FRA ASM disco group. So I will choose data. I will choose a disco group. So in the right hand side, you will see list of ASM disco groups, and you click create button to create FRA ASM disco group. And since it is in the practice environment, to manage in a space in a better way, we're gonna choose external redundancy, and we also have 4 disks available here, which named the DAP C1 data 1 disk 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you choose external redundancy, and then we can create ASM disco group in this way. So I also added a comment here. It's got to be external, and also label disco group using AFD is not selected because of performance issue. And finally, as you can see, you have FRA added here. It's like a step number 46. So we have we created. So now I'm going to actually close the ASMCA because I already installed Oracle Clusterware, and also I verified the Clusterware services, and also I created a new ASM disco group as a part of a preparation of creating Oracle database in practice 3. So I'm gonna exit out and then click yes button, and this is it. So this is a practice 1 installation of an Oracle grid infrastructure to create Oracle cluster, and also to create FRA ASM disco group.